Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to welcome Dr. Tari Mack to this interview with Mystic Moms. I'm Carolyn Burke, and Tari Mack is a clinical psychologist, and she is the author of the fabulous book, Every Relationship is a Test, and she's actually also a single mom. And today she's joining us to share a little bit about dating from the perspective of being a single mom. So I thank you, Tari, for being here. I'm really, really excited. I said to Tari that I find that this isn't really a topic that I hear a lot of people discussing. And when the information in your book is just so valuable in terms of us understanding what happens in relationships. And I'm really interested to see what you think about it from the perspective of moms, because in my community, there's some people who are single and they're dating, and then there's some that are single and they're not dating because they're afraid to repeat some of those patterns, or they're afraid of being hurt again. And I kind of wonder what you would say to all of us in this.
Sure. Sure. Where do I start? Well, just to give you a little bit of overview, the message of the book is that, we don't have to keep repeating the same frustrating or painful relationship patterns. Typically, that's what we do. If we continue to unconsciously be in relationships without being aware of what our patterns are, then we keep creating the same thing. We keep, ending up with the same results. And so a lot of us as single moms may be, either hesitant to date again because we don't want to repeat history, or we may think, oh, well, if I just find a new partner, then, everything's going to be great. But in reality, we have to understand ourselves, and we have to really understand what our work is. We have to make the unconscious conscious so that we can hone in on what our specific work is and change the way that we do relationships. So each chapter in the book talks about very specific ways that women often get in their own way, or common mistakes that we make. And it comes from my 15 years of experience working with women as a clinical psychologist. So we can talk about some of those things, but, in general, they come down to boundaries, being able to say no, being able to say what we like, what we don't like, unconscious attraction. Even though we say we want a certain type of partner, we end up picking a type of partner that doesn't meet our needs. Maybe we move too quickly in relationships or attach too quickly. Maybe we're not even clear for ourselves. What are our deal breakers? What are we looking for? And we don't understand. The message in the book is really that every relationship, every potential partner we meet, every date we go on is a test. It's a test from the universe, a chance for us to finally learn the lessons that keep appearing for us in life. So I believe in life that we all keep getting the same lessons until we learn them. And it's the same thing in relationships.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to understand what tests keep showing up for us, and then how do we pass them to change our relationship path.
I love that. It feels like a really, almost a different way of viewing things, because it's when we're unconscious in our relationships that we keep repeating the patterns.
Yes.
When we're conscious, you're saying, hey, there's ways to succeed when we're conscious.
Yes, you have the power.
Yeah.
You have the power to choose who you date, to tune into yourself, listen to your inner wisdom, and make conscious decisions about whether to continue seeing somebody or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's exciting.
It's very exciting, and it feels like it feels like it's a big topic to me, because for me, I haven't dated in a very, very long time. So it was more of that idea of we talk about in the Mystic Moms program, we talk about this rescue fantasy that people can have if you're single, if you're partnered, that just somebody's going to come in and fix things, that someone's going to come in and tell you, I'm going to make this all right. So for me, I've always been a little bit leery of attracting a relationship as a way to get help and be fixed, or have this fantasy that they would come in and help me parent these two kids that I'm parenting solely, what do you think of that? This kind of, what is that about? This fear, I guess, in a way of bringing somebody in.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good, and I think it's healthy that you don't expect somebody to come in and save you and fix, the challenges of being a single parent, because it is hard. It's hard to be one parent, in a house with two kids, and so some of us may have that rescue fantasy, but it's not going to work that way. On the other end, it sounds like you've been scared to kind of open yourself up to the idea of love, because you kind of skip right to how is that going to impact our family? Mm-hmm. Like, what's it going to be like to bring in someone's energy? And what I want to say to you is that, it doesn't have to go from 0 to 60. Yes. One of the chapters in the book talks about pacing. Yeah. And so, some of us have attachment styles that mean we meet someone, we decide we like them, and we attach super quickly. Right. We reorganize our world. They become the center of it. We kind of lose connection with other people in our life, with our passions, and with ourselves. And that's never going to work. It's not sustainable. So one of the most important things when you meet somebody is just to take it slowly so that you can maintain a connection to yourself. Mm-hmm. Because when we are connected with ourselves, we can pay attention to how we feel. We can pay attention to our intuition. We can take in information and see how we feel about it as we get to know someone. Yeah. So Carolyn, if you, opened yourself up just to the idea of meeting somebody, mm-hmm. then you could choose to, first have a conversation with him, like over text or on the phone, and then you could meet him, see how you feel. And it wouldn't be probably a long while before he met your kids, but
it's like going to the end result before.
Yeah. And it's going to take someone very special to get to that point. Right. And whatever your specific work is, as you do that work, as you tell him what your needs are, as you communicate, as you tell him what pace works for you, then you see how he responds to that. Mm-hmm. And if he honors that and celebrates that with you, then things will probably continue to go well. Yeah, exactly. And maybe at some point he would meet your kids, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a parent right away.
Or like living with you. Making decisions. Like, why do I go to that?
Exactly. You're allowed to have boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So
I think it's funny to hear it reflected back, because it is a little bit extreme.
Yeah, but fears are irrational.
That's right.
Sometimes just making the fears conscious, even just writing them down. Like, I'm scared of somebody coming in and taking over the decision making.
Yes.
Like, you can read that, and then you can do work to kind of massage the fear away.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then what about on the other end, people that are dating all the time and are just finding like it overwhelming? Like, what would you say for them as some of the biggest issues that moms face when they're dating?
Geez. Well, I think you have to be very clear on why you're dating. So another chapter in the book is called, "Are You Dating as a Hobby?" And a lot of people, not just women, but the book is written for women. So a lot of women are dating for secondary gains, but we're unconscious of it. So for instance, some of us are dating because we like the attention. Yes. We like to feel desired. We like to be seen. It's pretty lonely sometimes being a single parent. There's nobody there telling you look beautiful or that you're funny. Yeah. But if that is one of the reasons you're dating and you're not aware of it, then once that starts to wear off a little bit, because the beginning of a relationship is very intense, it can be, because somebody's really seeing you and appreciating you, giving you compliments, and slowly over time, there's going to be a little bit less of that. Right. And if that's the reason you're dating, you might give that up to start over with someone else who's going to be giving you more attention. Or some women are dating to distract themselves from life or from issues. Mm-hmm. They're dating out of boredom, or especially with these dating apps, if you're just dating, they're kind of like video games now. You could just be sitting in front of the TV, mindlessly swiping and matching with people. Interesting. And are you exhausting yourself going out on all these dates without really being present and available? So you have to be very mindful and conscious about what it is you really want. And, some women are just dating.
Like you're saying, it comes back to you all the time.
Always. Always. And if you are just dating for any of those reasons, be honest with yourself. If you're dating because you want to have sex, be honest with yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem is when you're telling yourself, I want a relationship, I want to be in love, but these secondary gains are kind of running the show. So again, it's making the unconscious conscious, you know.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. And dating can take a lot of energy, emotional energy, physical energy. And so, you know, being a single parent, being a single mom in and of itself takes a lot of time and energy. So just make sure that you're doing it in a way that is honoring you.
It's so interesting because I think that's another thing I've heard from moms is I just don't have the energy. I just don't have the focus, the devotion, the energy. There's too much that I'm already managing. So I think that's really good advice, is to just be aware.
Yeah. And I wonder sometimes when I hear that, like, what does that really mean? Is that because, like, is it that they want a relationship or they want to be dating, but they just can't find the energy? Then, you know, just like your course teaches, how do you address that?
Yeah.
So that you can use the energetic forces to kind of rejuvenate yourself and give yourself what you need.
Yes.
Or is it due to a fear that maybe you really don't want to date, or maybe you just want to be alone? Whatever it is, whatever is really the truth, it sometimes can be really scary to be honest with yourself, but it really makes things a lot clearer.
And this idea of the intention will really be helpful, because somebody could get really clear and say, I don't really want to be dating right now.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Fine. You're saying that's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally fine. You're in charge.
I'm really doing this because I want to open myself up to love and I want to have that connection. But I really want to be clear about why that is at this time in my life that I'm doing this.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think especially for single moms, it's important to be clear about what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. It's you're in a different stage of life now. You're not, you know, some women sometimes feel the biological clock ticking.
Right.
Like, I want to find someone and have kids. We don't have that anymore.
No.
So it's like, why are you dating? Are you dating just to have a relationship for yourself? You know, to get kind of like have your own thing? Do you ultimately want to have a partner that is going to be a part of your family?
Yeah.
Whatever your truth is, you need to be honest about that up front, and you need to make sure that your choices reflect and honor those wishes. You know, so like if what you really want is somebody who's going to join your family at some point, like that's your dream, to have like a, you know, to be remarried or have somebody as a family unit, then you're probably not going to want to date someone who doesn't like kids, even if he's super hot, you know, or she's super hot. Like,
yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So again, just being very in touch with yourself is important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love the way this fits with the Mystic Mom's work, because it is a lot about, like you said, tuning into your own energy and knowing I'm exhausted, I'm frustrated, this is how I feel in this moment. And this is the energy I'm putting out. How do I put some energy back in and keep myself charged up as well? So it's like, I love when you're saying that it comes back to yourself, because to me, it's like, if I'm not aware of where I'm at, if I don't have any kind of sense, I can't have boundaries, and I also can't have clarity around what my intentions are.
Right. And everything starts with clarity, you know, and especially you want to be choosing partners that will support your work. You know, if Mystic Moms is kind of your community, you want to choose a partner who's going to get that, or at least honor it.
That's
right. So when you want to be with someone who can hear you share your feelings, who can hear you say, like, I'm really frustrated right now, or I didn't like that. And if that is part of your work, learning to speak up, learning to share your feelings, then you have to do that work, even though it's going to be so uncomfortable. And you will choose to stay with partners who respond well to that.
Yes.
For some of us, the work is ending relationships that don't honor us. Sometimes we stick around way too long, you know, for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm talking a lot about partner choice, and a big part of the book too is about unconscious attraction, which is just such a big part of dating. And I've sat with women for 15 years, watching them choose partners that do not honor them. You know, these beautiful, amazing, talented, emotionally aware women will start telling me about usually a man, but sometimes a woman that they're dating, who just doesn't speak that language of emotion, isn't accepting of their boundaries, can't do that work with them. And a big part of that is because oftentimes our unconscious is the thing that's choosing our partners. So even though, of course, we could probably say exactly who we're looking for. We want somebody who's honest and reliable, who can communicate well, and, you know, is kind to us all the time, even when we're in conflict. We often don't choose partners who look like that and act like that. Yeah. And that's because there are two kinds of unconscious attraction. And the first one is that we are attracted to people who reinforce how we feel about ourselves. Okay. So if you think about that, however you feel about you, if you know that you're amazing and wonderful, you know, strong woman with gifts to share, then you will be attracted to partners who see that too and who reflect that back to you and treat you well. If, on the other hand, you struggle with that, if you struggle with seeing your worth and validating yourself, and if you're self-critical, then you will be attracted to partners who treat you that way, and that will feel like home. Yeah. So really working on your relationship with yourself is so important. And the other kind of unconscious attraction, sorry, I'm talking a long time here.
I love it.
But the other kind is that we tend to choose partners who will help us repeat our roles and our patterns from childhood. Yeah. So yes, I'm a psychologist, so I'm talking about your childhood. But if you don't have awareness about what role you played in the family and what, you know, the limitations of your parents, because, you know, we're humans, we're moms, and we have limitations. Yes. So if you don't have awareness of that, you will recreate that with the partners you choose. So if you, let's, like, very basic example, if you had a father or a mother who was not attuned to you emotionally, if they were emotionally unavailable, then we will feel intense attraction for people that make us work to really we have to really work to get them to share their feelings with us, or we need to work to get them to try to understand us. Somebody who does that naturally, we might feel bored with.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's powerful. What you're saying is the unconscious has a lot of power in terms of driving us without necessarily us being aware. So how do we get aware of this unconscious patterning? Like, how do we start to know ourselves? Like you said, if the trick is we have to know ourselves as we go forward.
Yes. Well, so in the book, there's an exercise that I often do with clients that helps that. It's kind of like a formula that, like, spits out your unconscious attraction. So it basically says, like, I try to get partners who are like this to be like this. Yes. But but if you talk to a therapist, if you reflect on kind of what your caregivers or your parents were like, how they frustrated you or couldn't show up for you, and, you know, how they could show up for you, that will give you some clues. Yeah. Maybe to who you're gravitating towards. You can also look back at your past relationships and identify what are the common, like, frustrating. Yes. You don't want to repeat history. So think back on your last relationship. What don't you want again? And put that down as a deal breaker. Yes. You know, oftentimes if we're not aware, we keep choosing that same partner.
Yeah. So it's like, do the work, but I also hear, like, it's important to do the work, but it's fun if you do the work. Like, it doesn't have to be like this strenuous, awful thing, right? Like, you're saying it comes back to you, and we need to be aware of our boundaries. We need to be aware of our unconscious patterning. Do the work feels like, wow, this is a lot of work.
But it is fun. And that's the thing. It's like, we usually don't struggle in all of these areas. Yes, typically we struggle with maybe one or two. Okay. So when you figure out what is the hardest thing for you, is it like slowing down? Is it partner choice? Is it speaking up and setting boundaries? Is it leaving a relationship when you know? Whatever it is, you will be able to see the tests as they come. And that's the really fun part. It's also the part that's uncomfortable, because then you have to challenge yourself to lean in and do the uncomfortable thing. Yeah. But then you always get rewarded. That is the cool thing. And, like, in doing this work with women, it's like, you know, we identify the work, they come in and say, you'll never believe like the test I got this week. And then we talk about how they passed it and what happened next. And it's so cool.
So there's this element of excitement and fun, and doing the work will make things feel better overall, and you will make better choices, it sounds like, as well, right?
Yeah, because you're getting healthier. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
As you do the work, you're building your relationship with yourself. You're getting clearer, you're getting healthier, and it translates into your relationship and who you choose to date.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I love it. And what I'm loving about the book is the way you're describing the chapters, that, okay, well, this one's about this is about this. And I'm thinking, wow, there's lots of levels to this. It's, you know, whether you're looking at the unconscious pattern, whether you're looking at pacing, whether you're looking at this, it feels to me like by the end of it, you'll have a much better understanding of what you need to work on, where you need to go forward.
Yes. And I forgot to say the last chapter is about red flags, which I just want to say because there are blatant red flags that women do not pick up on.
Yes.
So if you see any of these certain red flags, like if you share your feelings and someone is defensive or tries to tell you you're wrong, or they try to dismiss your feelings, or if they lie to you, you know, I have a list, then do not continue in that relationship. It's not going to get any better. A lot of those are symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder, or sociopathy, or, you know, some other mental disorders. And some of them just mean someone doesn't have the higher level relationship skills that are needed to have a healthy relationship with you.
So basically what I'm hearing is this is going to be like a Bible, because you'll be flipping to the back chapter to be like, red flag, I gotta get out.
Right. One of my clients called it a dating manual. She was like, oh my God, this is a dating manual. I'm giving it to all my friends. I'm like, yeah, that's that's why I wrote this book. I wanted to get into the hands of every woman in the universe, just to save them time. Yeah. You know,
every woman, and whether you're choosing same-sex partner, opposite-sex partner, any partner, this is an appropriate book for them.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my goodness. So how do people find you?
So you can find me on my website, drtarimack.com. It's DRTARIMACK.com. I'm on Instagram at Dr. Tari Mack, Facebook under my blog name, The Path of Joy.
Nice.
And you can find my book on Amazon.
I was going to say, where can they get it? I wish I had one to hold and show.
I know, me too. I should be holding one right now.
So exciting. This book just came out last month, so I'm really excited that you could come and share with my community about it, because moms date and moms have different struggles in terms of juggling their energies, and I think it's great to know there's resources out there and conversations like this that can help us realize, hey, it really comes back to me looking after myself and being aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I don't want single moms, I don't want any woman, but especially single moms, to be in the wrong relationships that are draining your energy and causing you more work. I want you to be in relationships that honor you and where you feel empowered and celebrated. Yeah. You know, we all deserve that. And especially those of us that are trying to take care of other little humans and do all the things. Yeah. You know,
it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. So being honored is very, very, very important.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love that. Thank you, Tari. I really feel enlightened. I do. I feel like I've got a better handle on this. I'd like to get the book into my hands. I've been really excited to read it from cover to cover. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and just having the opportunity to hear about this whole other side of life.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me into your space. I know the work you do is so important. So thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Oh, thank you. Okay, everybody, we'll see you soon. Namaste. Bye.